Hey guys, got a little section called Bike Tales because I was thinking about this crazy ass story that happened to me on a bike, and it got me thinking about some other stuff that happened with bicycles, right? In Columbus, when I lived in Columbus, Ohio, I had a motorcycle, but I usually biked everywhere, mainly because I didn't have my license for the motorcycle. And since I didn't get my license license plate expired and I wasn't able to get a new one. And so I had took my buddy's plate and put on my bike. So when in town I didn't ride the motorcycle just because it was potentially going to get me in trouble. I rode a bicycle. Besides, I rode on sidewalks and everything. And so the story that reminded me of all this, right, was when we were moving from Columbus, Ohio, to move to Houston, Texas. I was loading my motorcycle up in the moving truck, right? And I needed to tie it to the rails on the side of the truck, and I didn't have any rope. So my bicycle was already in the truck. So my buddy let me borrow his bike to zip up to the hardware store to get some rope. Now his bike didn't have rear brakes, only front ones. And that's actually an integral part of the story, as you can probably imagine, if you know anything about riding a bicycle. Now whenever I stop, I use the back brakes and then I ease onto the front brakes to help slow me down. Or if I need to stop quickly, I just clamp both of them, right, screech to a halt. And so I fly down there, get the rope, and put it in my backpack, flying back, right, and on the high street in Columbus, Ohio. And I'm coming up on this intersection, and I start just like hammering down because I want to get through the light before it changes. And I'm not going to make it. The light changes, and traffic starts, so I clamp down on both of those brakes. There's no rear brake, just the front one, right? So the bike just stops and flips, and I go right over the handlebars. And somehow, I managed to go over the handlebars feet first, right? Fly off of there and stick the perfect superhero landing, dish, right beside like 5 people who were waiting across the street. And the bike like bloosh, crashes in the bushes. And I stood up, looked like a complete pro, right? Everyone looking like, damn, looking at me like shit. And looked, like I said, like I'm a professional stunt driver or whatever. Just complete good luck, right? Like, for all intents and purposes, I should have just went over the handlebars head first into traffic, right? But I managed to just go over it feet first. Boosh! And like I said, I stuck the perfect superhero landing and then kind of stood up. Somehow maintained my composure. Like I said, I came out looking like a pro. And almost died, but to everybody around, they're looking like, damn! And so then I just hit the bike. And then when the light changed, I took off, like, no comment, you know what I mean? And so that was crazy. And that got me thinking. Because like I said, in Columbus, I biked all the time. I mean, I was biking to work this one time, and I always biked on a sidewalk, for some reason. And I'm flying on this sidewalk on my way to work. And coming up on this little intersection, there was this little road. There was bushes on the side of the sidewalk, right? So you couldn't really see. And regardless, like I said, I was flying like always. Right as I got to the intersection, some lady pulled up to the stop sign there right into the sidewalk, and I clamped on the brakes, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't soon enough. I screech, bam, run right into the side of her car, right? And she's looking like, ugh, like she was worried that she had just killed somebody, right? And I just got on the bike and kept going, took off again. And she didn't say anything. Probably, like I said, probably she thought she was going to get sued and go to jail and everything for killing me. So that one was funny. And I didn't get killed. I didn't die. But this next story, I could very well have been killed. This was in Texas. I didn't actually live in Houston at the time. I lived out in Baycliff, on the other side of the Kemah Bridge. And it's out in the middle of the rural area there, right? And So I'm biking along the highway. I don't even remember what the name of that highway is now. Maybe it was NASA Road 1. I don't remember. But I was on my way home from work, riding on the highway. And this big Harley biker comes from behind and deliberately, you know what I mean? He like, you know, you squeeze the clutch and just, and he just and scared the shit out of me, right? Which was, of course, the idea, and he took off. I was like, shit. But I just kept biking. Well, a little ways later, I'm coming up on the other side of the road, I see a gas station, and the biker had his girlfriend on the back, by the way. They're standing there at the gas station, and he's gassing up the bike. And for some ridiculous reason, I came up with this idea. I looked, there was no traffic coming, so I went across the highway, and I like flew by him as fast as I could and went, yay, really loud, and they jumped, right? I took off, laughing at myself, and got up the road a ways and thinking like, man, that guy can go a hell of a lot faster than I can, you know what I mean? And so I'm like nervous the whole rest of the way. And never did see him, thankfully. Before too awful long, I turned off on a little side road to go to the little neighborhood where we lived, but he could have easily caught up with me. I don't know what I was thinking. You know, he was your typical biker. You know, he had like a chain or a fucking hammer in his saddlebags or something. And I thought for sure he was going to come and murder me, but he didn't. And I don't know, maybe he was like, respect, you know, I don't know. That's what I hope. Either that or he was like, I'll kill that motherfucker, and he just never found me. I don't know, but... And I'm sure there's some more wacky tales about riding bikes that I could come up with because I did it for many years. But that's it for now, and I'm going to head out, and we'll catch you later.